But yeah, I'll leave. I mean, unless you guys have something more you want to discuss, I'll leave this with like one more question for me. Um, which is pretty complex, but a simple question. How in your in your words to other people, what how do you improve in a fighting game? So, how do you improve exactly? So I'll like I don't know if you guys want to go like one on one or in a discussion thing, but like I mean I could start on my end first. Um, for me, how do you improve? Like, cause I'm seeing this in a lens. Like you're a new you're like you're a new person, or you're a new person. Oh wait, this can be applied for new person or even just person, someone who's played a fighting game for a long time. For me, well, the first thing that always comes to my head, in the first, immediately is focus on the small victories that you have in a game. And like sure, you could like lose a lot, and sure you might be hitting a plateau on why you aren't improving. Like maybe you're lacking this and that. Like maybe your neutral is pretty bad, you're not doing great during this advantage, and you really don't know what you're doing when you're on advantage. And you're like you're having a lot, you lack a lot of things. But focus a lot more on the small victories that you do in a match. So like for example, all right, so I am pretty bad at defense. So when I'm going to go in a match, I'm going to try and put more effort into playing more when it comes to my defense when I'm at disadvantage. So like maybe now I'm going to be blocking, but then I'll let go and then I'll get hit again from the last second. Oh wait, even though, and then in the next round you'll be like, "Oh, I lost this match, but I definitely was a lot more defensive. I was more wary on overheads and lows and grabs, you know. I like that. You know, that's a small victory. You know, and that can be like it basically just handle that. Focus on the small victories, and then when you're down with that, you can kind of start stacking up and like uh getting better, or at least building up a more skill as you're going through. So yeah, that's what comes to at least my head first when I tell people how, when people ask how do you improve. But the thing is, obviously, there are lots of answers when it comes to the question itself.
Yeah.
Like, what do you like when someone asks you how do you improve? What is literally the first thing you would tell them?
No, me.
Yeah, like it could be like um like like just think of an a player, no, player you don't know at all. Like he's saying he's not that good. He's not improving. You have no idea. You have no idea how he plays. You don't know this guy at all. And he asks you, "Hey, how do I improve?" What is like the first answer you would tell them?
Well, first thing I would ask him is, well, first thing I would ask him is like, what's your drive to the game? What's your motivation for it?
Hmm.
Because honestly, if you want to do something, you need a motivation to back it up. Otherwise, if you're just playing like I gotta do this for me, but you, no, okay, no, no. If I just gotta do this because yeah, like if you're going with that mindset, obviously it's gonna you're gonna been broken down. Like no, but if I had to say like one way to improve, don't don't if you want to improve, do not rely on going against CPUs. Play with other people. It's easier.
Hmm.
You'll improve a bit better with with different people because CPUs and humans they're not the same.
Yeah, I
And
I remember.
uh huh. No.
Sorry, no, it's just that I remember. I remember like the quote that Corey Gaming said. It's basically if you're going against CPUs, it's like eating a cup noodles. It's like eating a cup noodles. It's just a quick bite, and it's not as satisfying as an actual meal.
There that and yeah, one thing's for sure: master your basic fundamentals. If you know your basic
Mhm.
fundamentals, mix that up with your combos.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
you're gonna be a
Absolutely.
threat for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, must master
What a.
fundamentals and play with other people.
Yeah. Absolutely. What about you, Chun? What when someone comes and asks you, like a player you don't know at all, completely know, and he asks you, okay, how do I improve? And what would be the first thing you would say or
See,
think?
I agree with Franklin. Like, um, instead of playing with CPUs, play with other players. Like, get experience. Rather than take what you learn from the wins, also focus on your losses, on why you lost. Focus improving on that area. Focus more on, instead of doing it because of you have to focus because of do you enjoy playing, like Franklin
Hmm.
said. And through all that,
So
you want to improve by training not with CPUs but with players.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. I see. No, I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Sean? What would be the first thing you that pops into your head when someone asks you
Well,
that question when you don't
there's
even know this
several
player?
things. So I
Yeah.
I actually used to be a coach in fencing,
Oh.
and I took
Okay.
classes and everything. So first, I'm gonna start by
Okay.
saying
Wow.
I disagree with the CPU statement. I think playing CPUs
That's
is
fine.
totally fine, and you can totally learn a lot from CPUs. A perfect example of this
Mhm.
is Mewtwo King. Before Mewtwo King ever even got into competitive Smash, the reason why he got so
Uh-huh.
good is because he kept training edge guarding against CPUs in melee. That's
Wait.
literally,
Okay, wait. Well, okay, let me stop you there. But what level though?
it doesn't
Because
matter.
I wait, because okay,
It
never mind
doesn't
then.
matter.
Because I remember because for me, I remember telling someone, um, don't go against CPUs, but um, if you're gonna go against a CPU, don't put it on like, for example, level 9. Put it like on level 3 or 1, because focus. Because when I gave them the tip, like
It
I
doesn't
told
matter.
them like yeah, I told them like just practice your character, the movement, and your combos, and with a CPU and that. Yeah, but keep going.
Yeah. Basically, what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter what level you do it. It matters what training you're trying to do with the CPUs. So let me give you an example.
Okay.
If you're training how to do a hit confirm into a couple of strings, you want the CPU to be the most annoying thing possible that you have the capabilities of. So if the CPU, in the case of Ultimate, it reacts to your button presses, that's going to be annoying to do.
Hmm.
But if you're able to get the
Okay.
hit on the CPU, and the goal of the training that you're doing is to do a 5 hit combo or to do a 5 hit up air strings or whatever, if that is your main goal that you're trying to do, that's what you want to do. So regardless if you do a CPU or human, the CPU will help you
Hmm.
elevate to when you go into a real fight that you're able to do the strings that you want to do. It's only when
I got a
uh huh.
I got a question though. Isn't it? But isn't it also like technically a double-edged sword? Because if you're trying to get CPU and you played it for a while, like for example, like in a pandemic, and you have like trash online, like that's an example, no? And you play against the CPU, aren't you like also like you're technically also getting bad
No.
habits
Well,
from you'll get
like I
bad
said
habits from
before,
it.
it depends on your training. So I'm
Ah,
only
okay
telling
then.
you one part of how to self improve. Here's
Okay.
4 to 5 steps I usually tell people when they if they're trying to get into Smash. One, you need to have fun. If you're playing this game
Oh, huh.
for
Yeah.
several hours, you need to know that the reason why you're playing is to have fun. And regardless of items
Mhm.
on, items off, whatever the case is, just have fun with the game. Two, you
Okay.
need to play the game a lot, like a lot.
Yeah.
It with friends, CPUs, whatever. You need to generally just enjoy playing the game. And you have to
Mhm.
play a lot.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Three, you need to learn how to move in the game. You need to reach to a certain
Yeah.
level when you
Exactly.
play the game that you're not even thinking about what you have to do next. What you're thinking about, okay, professional players in Smash, ESAM, Nairo, whatever, they're not thinking
Yeah.
about, oh, I need to do a double fair into a spike combo and this and that, and oh, I gotta make sure my
Yeah. Yeah.
hands do this correctly. No, they've they've
Uh-huh.
trained that scenario so many times that they're thinking about, okay, if this person is about to tech this move, I'm already buffering this move out of my hands to do it because they've been training this
Uh-huh.
scenario this whole time. And the only reason why they're able to do
Mm.
that is because they mastered their character and their movement with the character.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one thing you need to learn for sure is learn how to move with your character and learn how the character moves within the game. Like what is your limits? What is your exploitations? Uh all that stuff.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Four, I do agree with you where you need to you have to focus with the mini goals. Uh but it's not only that, you always have to be asking questions. Regardless
Yeah.
regardless
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
if you're against another person or
Yeah.
not, you need to be asking yourself constantly, why did I get hit by that? What did I do good?
Yeah. You know what?
Why did I lose my stock there? Was that techable? Was that not techable? You know, anything that makes you go into a disadvantaged state or a negative state or whatever, you should be asking
Mhm.
yourself or your opponent, either after the match or whatever, and start thinking, what exactly happened there? If you're playing
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
opponent, they will be able to explain to you. If you're playing a weird opponent, they'll be like, "Oh, I don't know. You should stop playing that opponent." That's my advice to you
Oh
because
yeah.
if that person is not going to give you a reason on why they think it should happen, it doesn't even have to be the actual answer. If you said, "Oh, why did that just happen?" and they say, "I don't know,"
Mhm.
and instead of saying, "I don't know," maybe this. If the answer is just, "I don't know," stop. I recommend you just stop playing with the person because
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Good
because the
point.
person is
Yeah.
just playing out of instinct. They're not thinking about what they're doing.
Yeah.
If you catch what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you
Yeah.
mean.
And yeah, if I have to give like a final step towards that because there's so many different steps, right? But those are
Yeah.
like
There are
the
a
main
lot.
key points that you should be thinking about is the
Mhm.
final thing that you should be thinking about is discipline. Discipline
Yeah.
as in you constantly are looking for something and you have to keep repeating looking for it even to the point
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
to the point of insanity sometimes. If you're looking for
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
certain setup, even if that setup is going to cost you two stocks or a 50% of your HP, whatever, it doesn't matter. You're playing
Yeah.
friendlies. Friendlies, you're trying to learn how to do certain things. If you're looking for this
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
setup, constantly try to do it until it's in confirmed that it is impossible to do this setup, or you can only do this setup in this certain situation. Once you know
Yeah.
that certain setup only happens in this certain situation and you master it, then you have it in your pocket. How many times we've seen in
Yeah.
fighting games like in Street Fighter or whatever, a
Yeah.
person that you follow, a top player, does something that
Yeah.
you've never seen before and you're like, how the fuck did this person even do that? Right? You're thinking like, how the hell
Yeah.
did he connect that? Like you've never even seen it before. If you interview that
Mhm.
person, if 9 times out of 10 they will tell you, "Oh yeah, I've trained that situation many times, and my muscle
Yeah.
memory was just ready to do it." That to
Yeah.
me
Mhm.
is a master player. That they're able to take out
Ah.
any
Yeah.
situation out of their pocket to get the win that they need for that situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to me, those
All
are
right.
the steps of self improvement. Uh, of course, there's always mentality stake where you kind of have to never give up or
Mhm.
all those stuff. But if you ask questions, you have fun with the game, you you train scenarios and etc etc. If you put those all cumulative together,
Yeah.
you can either become a very above average player or potentially a very top player.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Well. Yeah. I could. Yeah. That's definitely. I could definitely like go behind with that answer. For me, I went with my answer because where because I remember now. People have asked me in person before, and I always give them that one answer. Uh, and mainly I always keep it short as to because well I'm gonna say here because I'm an introvert and I don't want to keep talking to you.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Well, yeah, to be fair, like yeah, like obviously, like yeah, there's a reason why in the beginning I said earlier, like yeah, there's a lot of answers to it. Like you can go so much more detail into this, and especially with the key points that you said, there's way more aspects into
Yeah,
it. But like you know what, for me, it's just keep it short, focus this, and all the other stuff you can just
yeah.
come back to me later.
Whenever
But
whenever
but
someone
at the
asks me,
moment, just go away. I don't want to talk to you anymore after that.
yeah, whenever someone asks me a question about Smash, I try to break it down as much detail as possible because one, this person had the bravery to ask a question, right? Because you know how hard it is to ask the question to be like, what am I doing wrong?
You have no
Or like that.
idea for a lot of
So if a
people.
person
Even for me back
so if
then,
a
yeah.
person has the courage enough to come to me and ask me that question, I'm going to make sure he gets as much information that he wants so that he can feel comfortable to keep asking questions. Because I love this game
Mhm.
and I'm going to show him why I love
Yeah.
this game. And if my love for the game can rub off on him to be like, oh wow, I did not know this game was this deep. You know what? Because of you, I want to learn as much as you at this game. That's a win for me because now this person
That.
can potentially become better than me or a potential good training partner or rival. Because this person,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the only way you can get better is that if you have more rivals and more people to fight against.
Yeah, yeah.
Ryu is considered the
Absolutely.
best
Oof.
fighter, and some, arguably the best fighters because he constantly gets rivals into the fighting games so that he can become the best fighter in the world. Any
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
shonen
Absolutely.
character, anime, whatever, the reason why they want to become stronger and have so many rivals and friends is because they want them close to him so that he can continuously getting better for himself. So you should just make yourself
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
own version of a shonen character and just work on that.
Yeah, yeah, though, like high key, that's actually a good point. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of wish that I would have the same mentality too. Just the thing is that I usually, sadly enough, I let my introvert side take over me more
Yeah, that's
often.
totally
So
understandable.
more so
That's
like that.
something that's personally you got to work on. Like me, for example, I was the
Yeah.
same thing. I wasn't a person that you could, you know, or that's so talkative or and stuff like that. But I left the love of the game for me push me to the point where I can get to the point where I can do commentary now, where I can host tournaments,
Yeah.
where I can travel. I never would have imagined me traveling for this game because I was scared to even leave
Mm.
the island to do stuff. But this game and the tournament scene
Yeah.
helped me open up my eyes to the point where I can realize, wow, this is what I can do. This is what I can learn. And I've grown so much due to being part of this game that I want to share that
Mhm.
access to other people so that they can learn to be like,
Mhm.
you can beat your own introversy, you can beat your own shyness, you can learn to talk to people,
Yeah.
you can learn to host your own tournaments, you can do all that other stuff. So it
Yeah.
really depends on you and how much dedication you have towards the game that makes you want to improve as a person.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely just one of the things that I need to work on for myself. But yeah, that's a good point, and it's so good. I'm gonna make that a QRT.
Mhm.
Get content out of it. Oh yeah, I'm just
Content
kidding.
boys.
I mean, I mean, I'm definitely gonna make a QRT out of it.
That's fair.
But yeah,